Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today a follow-up from a couple of videos I've done in recent months on the battlefields of the Napoleonic Wars. A game from Ingeniosohidalgo, apologies for my pronunciation, Paolo Mori. This is an expansion or Battlefields Pack number 1, adding some more scenarios to what is a really cool game. You'll be able to watch my review on this. A few little niggly Napoleonic specific bits aside, this is a very playable, accessible game to all age groups and all levels of experience. Highly recommended. When I saw the Battlefields pack had come out, for me it was a must-have. Of course, only being available from Italy, it's a little bit expensive on postage, but I think still a worthy addition. And of course, it all fits inside the existing game box, so it doesn't take up any more space, which is great from my point of view as well. So this is what you get in the pack. Beautiful artwork on the front here, just to set the scene. But 3 battles covered: Aspern-Essling, Quatre Bras and Saalfeld. So some interesting games of different sizes and scales, as we'll see in a moment. So this is the cover, which just explains the periods they cover: 1809, 1815, 1806. So we're dealing with the Austrian and the French, Aspern-Essling, the Allies versus the French at Quatre Bras, and the Prussians against the French at Saalfeld. So some different coverage, but a really nice presentation again, just sort of setting the scene of those. But let's show you a little bit about what you get. So importantly, you do need to have the original game, because there's no playing pieces in here. These are just the maps and the little booklets that you get setting out each scenario. So let's have a look at Aspern first, which I think is the biggest one in the set. Just sets out a bit of history in this nice kind of pamphlet format again, as we had before, with your map and then your rules, which you can kind of lay on the table. I really like this approach. It's really nice. So it sets out special rules for this battle, particularly the pontoons, Bonaparte, Archduke Charles. Some interesting dynamics here around pontoon bridges, which we haven't seen in other games. And we've got all the usual activation areas here where you put your orders, some terrain specific rules which are important, and then on the back the initial setup for the map. So it is a big map. It was a big battle. You can see the French condensed in here and the Allies in this kind of horseshoe shape around. Well, let's just show you the map for this one. We may have to just zoom out a bit because this is quite a large map. It's in the same format as we had previously. Now, this is probably again in portrait, so I'm going to show it to you as best I can from that point of view. Let me just make some space here. Okay. So again, this should lay flat over time or with plexi. This kind of nice kind of paper, glossy paper, does sit better on the table, I must admit. So we've got some of the sort of key details there. As you can see, this is quite a large map, and you've got some nice big sort of hex sizes here. I've put my fingers there, you can see the size of those. They're decent sizes for the pieces. It's in this same sort of style format artwork, but very nice. So that's Aspern-Essling. Looking forward to giving these a go. Let's have a look at the next one, Quatre Bras, which is probably one that most Napoleonic gamers will be familiar with. Obviously part of the 100 Days 1815 campaign. So again, a bit of history there. Again, we've got the nice scenario rules set out here, actions, terrain, special kind of rules for reinforcements, for example, the decisive crossroads, allied reinforcements will drip feed in at different times in the game. And then on the back again, slightly smaller map, this one with a lot less starting, because this was an engagement with troops from both sides gradually sort of encroaching onto this field of play. But again, let's just show you the map for this one as well. So again, similar, that kind of similar format, and again you can see this one is that bit smaller but still very nice. The color palette is very good. As you can see, looking at this from about 18 inches, 2 foot away, the colors are really nicely done, very blended, and set out nicely the key areas of the field as well. So that's Quatre Bras. And then finally, one I don't know so much about is Saalfeld. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. So this is an 1806 Prussia, France. Again, beautifully presented. Love the artwork here. So Prince Louis Ferdinand is the special rule here. All the usual activations, and then terrain specific rules. And then on the back again, there's a lot here to set up, and it's obviously going to be quite a claustrophobic battle, this one, because it's a very small map. As you can see here, there isn't going to be a huge amount of maneuver on this map. It's quite small, and with all that set up as well, it's going to be a busy battle. But again, lovely, clear, easy to understand artwork. What I like, it's very simplistic, but for me it makes for a really interesting package. As I say, big fan of the game. I think it really brings something different to the hobby in this period. But that's those 3 scenarios. Hopefully this won't be the first and last scenario pack for this game. I think it's got unlimited potential. Nice little packages. Probably could quite comfortably fit a number of these in the game box. So for me, a big thumbs up. Another great presentation. But hope you've enjoyed this little walkthrough of what you get, and it's piqued your interest, and hope to bring you more material very soon. Thanks for watching.